so might not be perfect, but it'll serve. It'll do, pig. It'll do. I worked so long on this. I've spent pretty much the past 3 days just straight playing this game. I played it a lot before, and I'm not going to say I was one of the first people to start jumping in on this. I didn't really even want to YouTube it, because I thought, you know, there won't be much of a place for SimCitying on YouTube. Well, there are a lot of people doing it. So I figured I wanted to do something like it, but something a bit different. And thusly, I believe I have created the largest Banished city heretofore in existence. A lot of people have very large cities, and I've seen a lot of people on YouTube talk about, oh hey, I'm gonna go for 1,000, gonna go for 1,000. Well, I got to 1,000 really easily. 1,000 didn't take me anything more than a day. Mind you, it was a day full of me doing literally nothing but no-lifing on this game, but a day nonetheless. It's not too challenging to get to 1,000, especially if you're committed. What was challenging, though, was getting to 2,000. And that's because, unlike 1,000, where it's pretty easy to approach that, and if you fuck up, maybe you'll get set back, but generally, it's not too big of a deal what happens. Getting to 2,000, there is an absolute pitfall situation, where if you run out of food at any point for any reason, you will enter a death spiral. An endless death spiral. And I have had that happen to 2 of my games now. It's absolutely, positively horrible. And honestly, I think I might be close to another death spiral right here. I had 300,000 food. I have 1,950 people now, but I had 300,000 food, and it is dwindling. Year over year, I seem to be losing about 20,000 food or so. So I'm trying to implement some emergency measures. They don't seem to be doing much. I was expecting pretty much just that to be the case. I made it really, really close to 2,000. And I think it's possible to hit 2,000. And it's probably possible to hit it in a very sustainable way as well. But I've made this massive city, whole bunches of lumberjacks, woodcutters, and I actually don't have any stone quarries. I have a few mines for coal, just because I found that was an easier way to get coal than trading for it. Trading for coal seemed like a pretty worthless idea. A lot of this requires manual trading to sustain oneself in the short run. Manual trading can help to overcome the caps set by just the auto purchase system. Sure, you could go all the way out to 9999, but that'll often spend things you don't want to spend, or buy things you don't really want to buy. I figured 5,000 on each of them would allow for some semblance of diversity in food purchasing. Well, it's true, but it doesn't do you too much good when you're running through food like nobody's freaking business. Let me get a production here, just to show. Year over year, I'm using around 200,000 food, and I'm producing only about 60,000. That's really not much in the way of production. That's a huge amount of consumption. Absolutely mind-boggling amount of consumption. And it also seems like the game is very prone to freezing up after you hit about 1,500 people. I think that it's really just the game itself. Because I've checked my specs while running the game, and my CPU isn't above 30%, my RAM isn't above 3.0 GB, and I've turned down the graphics settings just almost through the floor. It's really, really kind of basic at this point. But I made a ton of ports. An absolute ton of these things, and I'm still constructing more. I think I'm almost at 50 ports in all. I'm not going to sit here and count them, but this river is absolutely lined for trade. It's also really hard to tell that my food stock is going down at times because of the way most of my food is produced. Most of it's coming through agriculture, some of it's coming through gathering and hunting and fishing. Very, very little of it's coming from fishing. But the large majority of my food is coming through agriculture. At least the large majority of the food that I'm physically producing is coming through agriculture. And that means that when I'm using food during the year, I kind of realize, hey, I'm using food faster than I'm replenishing it, sure, but that's because I'm not replenishing it because it's not the harvest season. Well, now it's the harvest season, and hopefully I can get back some of this food, but I'm not too terribly hopeful. I'm thinking that I'm gonna start crashing here. Hopefully it's not an utter crash and burn, but I would not be terribly surprised just to see my legs fall out from under me, pretty much. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I've got a lot of town-ish areas. You can see off to the side on my labor count, I've just got a ton of everything, except for stonecutters, obviously. And it takes this style of city building takes a lot of support, absolutely massive amount of support. I've had a lot of fires rip through towns, and so it is extremely useful to have boarding houses when you have a fire start. Although, honestly, I've also found a few glitches with fire, which are pretty nice to exploit, but I didn't exploit them all too much. Just, it's a little bit off. One should not exploit glitches in order to win the game. So, whereas I found those glitches, I did not openly exploit them or anything like that. And I'm not sure if I'll address those in too much of an immediate situation, but I'll try to get to addressing those at some point. Maybe putting up a video, if I can record something catching on fire. And who knows, maybe something will catch on fire before the end of this. That would be oh so nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, I've had fires just devastate my town. It's kind of horrible, because it usually means that I get hundreds of people that end up homeless, and that's all sorts of fucked up for making sure that people get all the food and stuff that they need. I also noticed I have a whole bunch of tools. I have tools out the ass. It is wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm actually hoping to start trading some of these tools away, just because I can't use tools if my people are starving to death. Not going to be very helpful. But I feel like my people are going to start starving to death anyways, so I'm not sure where I'm going to draw the line and say, fuck it, I'm done. Probably once I start to see the massive death spiral come on. Once the massive death spiral hits, that's when I'm going to say, I can't stand to watch this shit and just tap out. You also see that I don't have a 100% I have a good amount away from a 100% educated workforce, and that is because I accepted a good number of nomads into my town. The first time I accepted nomads into this town, it was a little bit shaky. It brought a lot of problems, but with this many civilians and shit, it really doesn't matter when you introduce a small number of uneducated people into the workforce, because most of them end up as laborers in a labor pool anyways that really don't do anything. It's just pure number inflation at this point. It's really not population for the sake of doing work, it's population for the sake of numbers. I'm not going to lie about that at all. And very unfortunate thing about the way I have this all set up is that I end up having a lot of people working from very odd and precarious areas. People that I would really prefer to be coming from closer areas. Yeah, so that's a pretty far walk for him. And that's even farther. And game lags. Gotta love the stutter. So it doesn't make great sense why these people have to go all the way across fucking town. But at the end of the day, it just seems like they do. Holy shit, the lag is getting bad. But that's half the fun of it. Now, one thing I've also noticed is that my builders seem to really love living next to their construction projects, and they for some reason seem to take priority over pretty much everything else. And that's why whenever I construct a new docking area, it's almost entirely ineffectual until I move the builders somewhere else. Where does this bridge go? Where does the worker come from? I'm in the middle of winter and I have 196,000 food. It's not the best of situations. And holy shit, this thing is still lagging. Wow. That is a solid 10 to 15 seconds of lag right here. Should I start the timer? Is this thing just frozen? Hello? Hello? Anybody out there? Hello? Hello? I'm really not sure if any number of houses is going to change it. That's probably the most aggravating piece of it all. I used to feel like I had a very direct control over my population, but now it feels like my population is really far beyond my grasp. Whether it goes up or down, or actually it seems like it's impossible for it to go up. It can only go down. Could this be the answer to my prayers? Oh please. Oh please. Oh please. Let them be enough. I just need 121 of them. That's it. Just need 121 nomads. That's it. And then I have 2,000. 122 now. Hurry the fuck up! Please, 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 please. I don't care who doesn't count it. I just want to hit 2,000. I want to hit 2,000 so badly. I don't care if you racist pricks don't want to count immigrants as people. I do. Here we are. Nomads. Wanderers. What a truth. How many? How many in your party? Come on. Tell me. The suspense is killing me. There's gotta be at least 100 of them there. There's got to be at least 100 of them there. Or it's gonna be just short. It's gonna make me want to drive my fist through a wall. Yes! Yes! Done! 2029. It is done. Highest population banished. 2030. 31. Yes! Yes! Oh, the accomplishment I feel. And everything will be fine. Because I do have sustainable food levels, I do have sustainable pretty much everything. So I could let this city go for a few years, and people could see it. If they want it, by all means, comment, tell me wherever the hell I post this. Oh, I am so fucking happy. Yes! I would shout with joy, but it's like 3 a.m. So, a congratulatory fuck yes is just, that's all I need. I did it. I played for like probably 20 hours this save. Actually, I'm not sure. 88 years. 88 years. 88 years. 2,000 citizens. Largest banished population I've seen. And hopefully, an unbreakable record. There are some things I could expand here and there, but I doubt I could break the glass ceiling that seems to be in place. Alright. We're good here. I'll see you guys next time.